obviously, a lot of points and a lot of efforts that are required. We have established that risk adjustment is the biggest lever here, and it is easier said than done, right? So revenue from risk adjustment is not a simple game. Requires several efforts, right? And uh, it's like buying a used car, if I may give an example, right? If you might get a great deal here, but if you end up spending a lot of money and uh, costly, maintenance costs, you end up losing that money that you saved. So same story with this administrative cost, which I feel that you might hit the golden target of 85% MLR. Uh, but if your administrative admin costs are significantly higher, you don't see a lot of that money, in short. And the administrative costs tend to be higher because obviously their efforts are quite complicated. And over the years, to achieve accuracy of those efforts, these efforts have been really specialized, and these efforts are done by specialized or people with special skills, or not special, I mean, people with very unique skills, right? So a CDI guy will do CDI, and someone who's doing prospective coding will do prospective, and you have retrieval guys, and you have vendors who are doing very specific things in risk adjustment, which is great to achieve that. We want to achieve that specialization to have a great accuracy, but at the same time, we know that a lot of efforts here, a lot of steps in these efforts have duplicate steps. Say, for example, chasing records or retrieving records. Records can be retrieved for the MyHEDIS season for the hybrid measures. Records can be retrieved for review of HCC coding, or if someone got a RADV notice, then the health plan will retrieve records to find out the best records that support HCCs which are under question. So there are various reasons why the records are retrieved, and various other reasons why the records are reviewed for various efforts. And we have found, with experience, we have found that a lot of steps are duplicated, and I think uh, it's a very popular concept nowadays, bringing quality and risk together. That is, we have seen a lot of events where this topic has been picked, and what we really want to say here is that you can uh, optimize the efforts. You can optimize the efforts to get maximum out of these. But then uh, the limiting factor could be a great vendor who can uh, do HCC coding while abstracting the hybrid measures. Or let's say, for example, the prospective review. Someone doing a prospective review for CDI and recapture with a look back of 1 or 2 years of records in the EMR system, you can modify that and add more points to it, more metrics to it, and identify the best encounters from the previous years, and refine the recapture rates by removing the false recapture targets if conditions are resolved. And you can do CDI pre and post visit support. You can improve provider documentation. At the same time, uh, these look back reviews can be looked as retrospective HCC coding as well, and why not? And a lot of efforts these efforts require creativity, and health plans need to get more creative, need to find vendors who are flexible for these creative ideas and can offer you solutions without any impact on quality which comes from the specialization of efforts. You can still have that accuracy of efforts and still maximize or optimize uh, the output of these efforts by adding more points to it. I mean, we have done a lot of specialization, and now clubbing efforts together doesn't really mean that we will lose that accuracy of specialization. It can still be achieved. Just like in medicine, now PCPs are considered a very significant uh, contributors to health because they are the gatekeepers. They manage and they treat a lot of conditions, despite the condition being specialized. Just like the example that we had for dementia, PCPs do diagnose, manage, document, and manage these conditions, like specialized conditions which are usually treated by a specialist, but PCPs are managing them, uh, like diabetes, hypertension, dementia, depression. These things are being managed. Similarly, uh, the vendors who specialize in various efforts, if you can identify great vendors who have great qualities and have experiences in various fields, can get creative with them and remove the duplicate steps in a lot of efforts and maximize the efforts. Bring CDI, prospective coding, concurrent and retrospective, finding best encounter, RADV readiness, all of these you can, and the quality measures and finding the care gaps. All of these things you can bring together. And it is going to be complicated initially, but it is definitely worth the effort, and it will not take much time for health plans to see the benefits of consolidating these efforts. Definitely will not lose the accuracy of efforts, but at the same time will make these efforts a lot more efficient.